Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Thomas, and I discuss my near-death experience, the things I learned, and the things I think you should know. So today I was inspired to discuss with you how to develop a spiritual practice. I had been at a loss as what to say and discuss, so I sat down to channel a message and was surprised to hear from who I refer to as my star friends, as I don't usually hear from them. They came through in a big way, which tells me that this is an important message for some of you. Alright, I have my cup of tea, I have my notes, so let's get into it. The first step to developing a spiritual practice is to make a commitment to yourself, Jesus, God, your guardian angels, and the universe that you practice on a daily basis or as often as possible. When you make this commitment, be sure to set goals that are realistic for you. This may mean committing to going to bed early so that you can get up early, or carving time out of your day to practice. It may be as simple as getting up 15 minutes early to meditate before you get ready for the day, but I highly recommend making your practice daily. The reason this is important is threefold. So one, it shows the universe that you are serious about healing yourself and those around you. In fact, when you commit to yourself to have a daily practice, you are also committing to those around you and those that you care about. You may consider the commitment to not only heal and improve the life of yourself, but the lives of those around you, those that you care about, and those you come in contact with. The second reason a daily practice is important is that a daily practice is also required to rewire the brain. And this allows new neural pathways to develop and allows you to lose pathways that are no longer serving you, such as fear, emotional triggers, and negative thoughts. A daily practice will allow you to see your past, present, and future in a different light, from a higher perspective, which opens infinite possibilities to you and those you care about most. It has been shown that meditating daily for at least 40 days actually changes the anatomy and physiology of the brain. It has been shown that meditation helps create neural pathways that connect different parts of the brain to each other, creating harmony and resonance between different areas of the brain, helping to bring about genius mentality. So the third benefit of a daily spiritual and meditation practice is that it keeps you grounded and moving forward. A daily practice will help you stay in tune with the universe, bringing positive energy to your day, allowing to see your life and the lives of those around you from a higher perspective. It also helps you tap into higher intelligence, which allows you to solve problems that may have kept you stuck in the past. The best time to meditate, pray, and do spiritual work is whenever you are able to do it. The second best time is between the hours of 2 and 5 a.m., 4 a.m. being the best time. This has been known to yogis for millennia. This is because the veil is thinnest during this time. This is because your cortisol and stress hormone levels are at the lowest they will be all day. People in your time zone are still sleeping and their cortisol levels are at the lowest, making it a quiet and peaceful time of day to meditate and pray, but there is also a practical, real reason for this being the best time to go about your spiritual practice, and that has to do with your brainwave patterns. So when you are dreaming, your brain is in an alpha or theta brainwave pattern. This is when your subconscious is able to come through and speak to you. When meditating in the morning, you have just come out of an alpha or theta brainwave pattern while you were asleep, and you are in a slow, low beta wave pattern, making it easier to go back into an alpha or theta brainwave pattern. When you are in a wakeful, task-oriented state, you are in a mid to high beta wave brainwave pattern. The beta brainwave state is good for going about tasks, but it keeps you outwardly focused, keeping you from being able to go inward and gain a higher perspective, making powerful realizations that can and do have enormous potential. So while we are on the subject of brainwave patterns, we should discuss remote viewing and remote influencing. So it is known that remote viewing takes place when you are in these slow alpha and theta brainwave patterns. Like I've mentioned, dreams take place during these slow brainwave patterns, but you can train yourself to go into an alpha or theta brainwave pattern while you are awake, and this happens through repetition. I highly recommend learning remote viewing and remote influencing and using it as a spiritual technology of the mind. I mean, it's had such an impact on me since my near-death experience. So I recommend the Silva Ultra Mind Remote Viewing, Remote Influencing course by Dennis Higgins and John La Tourette. You can find it on Amazon or Audible by doing a search for Remote Influencing. It comes as an audiobook for $37, or you can buy the CDs for about $150. It used to be that you could only learn remote viewing or remote influencing through an in-person course. However, even though it's on the internet, it is not something you can learn just by watching YouTube. In fact, remote viewing has been grossly misconstrued on YouTube and the internet. So be careful what sources you utilize when you attempt to learn remote viewing. But I cannot stress enough what a useful tool remote viewing is and how much it can change your life and the lives of those around you. It is definitely a technology of the mind. By slowing your brainwave patterns and using a tool like meditation or remote viewing, you are able to leave your body and travel the universe and astral realms, allowing you to meet up with your guardian angels, with Jesus, your spiritual helpers, and even lost loved ones. These interactions can be profound, healing the body, mind, and psyche, as well as being incredibly insightful. So I'd just like to stop here and say the other day I was in deep prayer and meditation and I started hearing Jesus speak to me. So I did a quick remote viewing session and I found myself in the same courtyard in heaven outside the room where I met with Jesus in private. And Jesus was there and so was Sarah. And Jesus told me to embrace him. And I really wasn't prepared for the emotional impact just hugging Jesus would have. But I mean, I just started crying because it was such a relief. Like all the stress was gone. All the angst that I've held since my near-death experience just was washed away. And it was really profound and helped me a lot. And you can do the same thing too. Alright, so let's continue. So it is through leaving the body and traveling these astral realms that real healing, can and does take place. A profound bliss or euphoria can be found while in the astral realm or alpha theta state, which alone is reason enough to develop a spiritual practice. Meditation, when combined with remote viewing, leads to profound awakening moments that can be life-changing through their insightfulness. I found mindfulness meditation to be particularly effective in creating these awakening moments that lead to enlightenment, especially when combined with prayer and spiritual work. Another aspect of a spiritual practice is including sound into your spiritual work. Music, sound, or chanting can and does put you in a trance. For this reason, native peoples have used sound for millennia when doing their spiritual work. What got me interested in sound, particularly Himalayan, binaural, and quartz crystal singing bowls, was that during my near-death experience, I remember hearing beautiful music that I understood to be coming from God, and I saw how sound is vibration and that it connects us to all that is. I saw that all existence is vibration and frequency. There are many ways in which you can use sound to deepen your spiritual practice by slowing your brainwave patterns and putting you in a trance. I prefer binaural singing bowls or rhythmically drumming, chanting mantras, or listening to music that helps me enter an alpha brainwave pattern. You can also keep it simple by putting on headphones and listening to binaural beats meant to put you in a theta or alpha brainwave pattern. Also, I should mention that each different chakra has a different sound and musical note associated with it. And by working with these specific sounds, frequencies, you can affect the body in real ways. So if you're looking for a singing bowl, I highly recommend silverskyimports.com because you can listen to a recording of each different bowl and they are of a much higher quality than Amazon or other websites, especially when it comes to quartz crystal bowls. So I'm not getting paid by this website, I just really love it. Their website's just awesome. So I've ordered crystal singing bowls from Amazon and had them break the same day I got them, which I gotta say is heartbreaking to say the least. Alright, so what does a spiritual practice look like? Ideally, I wake up at 4 a.m., make a cup of tea, and sit down to begin my practice. I say a little prayer calling on divine creative consciousness, Om Namo, as I light some incense, sage, or Palo Santo. Then I meditate or do a cool down session, as is known in remote viewing, before channeling a message or doing a remote viewing or a remote influencing session. If I channel a message, I never know if the message is coming from Sarah, Jesus, my star friends, or some other spiritual helper until they make themselves known, or I put together the clues that let me know who is talking to me. So I may play my singing bowls, listen to a guided meditation, meditate on my own by focusing on my breath. Paced breathing works really well, or I just sit and observe my thoughts. Our brains need time to absorb thoughts and to gain clarity, and sometimes the greatest realization comes just by sitting with your thoughts. So I'd like to point out prayer, especially when used in conjunction with remote viewing, is incredibly effective for me, as I've mentioned, but I can't stress enough how profound the experience is when combining remote viewing with prayer, especially if remote viewing Jesus or God, or your angels. So the next point I'd like to make is that you should have a designated place where you perform your spiritual practice. For me, it is my desk where I do my remote viewing and channeling sessions. If I'm going to be doing a particularly long cool down or meditation, I might choose my bed because of my health issues. So I often have to lay down when I meditate. If I do use my bed, I use sage, Palo Santo, or light some incense. I may even use candles. So do what feels right for you. I encourage you to utilize your creativity when designing your own spiritual practice and not to limit yourself on what you believe is possible. Remember that even your imagination is a powerful tool when used correctly, and I will leave it up to you to discover how your imagination can best serve you, because there is a lot of joy in discovering how your imagination can serve you. And your imagination is closely related to your spiritual senses. I don't like the term psychic because our spiritual senses are something that we all have. We just need to learn to utilize them and hone them through practice. So if you have any questions about how to set up or perform your spiritual practice, please leave a comment below and let me know. I promise I will get back to you. So that's it for now. I hope I've been helpful. If you haven't already, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. You're a big reason why I came back from my near-death experience to share what I was shown and what I've learned since. So have a great day. Much love and light. Namaste.